Okay, one thing I want to tell you guys is don't be afraid to tear your airbrush apart. What we have here is old Paschee VL. It was the airbrush I used for over a year, and I'm tearing her down right now and cleaning it out because I am going to be doing a lot of painting in one area in a minute. And I'm going to need basically what this thing can do. That's lacquer thinner right there. I'm using the lacquer thinner to clean the needle, to clean the gunk off the needle, because some paint apparently dried up on the needle. And yeah, I'm going to run some lacquer thinner through this thing before I quit tonight. Basically some paint cured up on the needle and gummed up inside the body of the airbrush. That's one thing I don't like about the Paschee airbrush. The Badgers don't seem to have this problem as much. They're also gravity fed, not suction fed. And there's not quite as much internal plumbing on them as there is the Paschees, who are bottom feeders, suction feeders. But I need the suction feeder on this because I can literally put one of these bottles on it, and I'm going to be painting an area like this, and I don't want to stop and mix paint constantly to fill the paint cup. So I'm cleaning up the needle on this Paschee, and I'm going to clean the inside of it out too. Oh, it's bad in there. I can feel it. Yeah, and the needle just jams right up in there. So we need to get some good suction up in there. So I'm going to hook her up to air. But anyhow, what I was saying is I need the bottom feeder because I can use a huge amount of paint. Because I'm painting, again, an area almost at the bottom of this spray booth. And I want to be able to basically not run out of paint every 10 minutes while I'm painting. So I can fill up a big jar full of gray paint or brown paint and have at it. Yeah, there's no air pressure valve in there right now. Oh, where is it? Okay, I lost part of this. I'll be back. I need to go find it. I know where it is. Alright guys, later. Alright, I found the missing piece. I'm basically going to rebuild this thing and start trying to run some lacquer thinner through it, which is going to be a world of fun, let me tell you. Well, the air valve still works. That's a good thing. Yeah, far more parts in the Paschee airbrush than there is in, say, the Badger ones. Far more parts. Putting the needle adjustment in there. Needle goes back in here. Now I got to make sure the needle feeds through this part right. And I don't have the adjustment in there right. I can see it already. So I'm pulling this all apart. This is part of the fun of this. Again, this airbrush is got a lot more parts to it than the Badger ones do. But I started with this. I was told this is a good beginner airbrush, and it served me well for well over a year, like a year and a half, before I had any problems with it and decided I didn't really have problems with it. I just decided I was going to try something different for once, and with one of the Badgers. And it didn't hurt that I won one of the Badgers in the contest. So that's kind of motivation right there, not to... Yeah, can you tell I'm having fun putting this together? quit talking because I'm concentrating on putting this together properly. There we go. Now the spring goes on. Now I can thread this on. This adjusts the tension on the needle and allows it to go back and forth. The further in this is, the more pressure there is on this trigger. Now it still doesn't grip with the needle yet. The needle's still free in there, but I need to get some lacquer fluid running through it. Lacquer thinner running through it, so it's better. And this clamps the needle down on there, so the needle will move when I move the lever. I don't want to tighten that up all the way, because then this thing can't move. See? Alright, the needle is not moving on its own, so let's tighten that up. Now the needle is moving. I'm going to put the paint cup in. We're going to give her some air pressure, and we're going to take some lacquer thinner, pour it in there. We have lacquer thinner running through. She's really tight. The needle does not want to move much, but it'll get better as the lacquer thinner gets in there. Simply because the lacquer thinner is going to get in there and loosen up that dried paint that's causing the trouble. Or not. Alright. Now, we're going to loosen up the needle, pull it out, clean it, put it back in, wash, rinse, repeat until I get her cleaned out. There's other ways of doing this, I know, but I know this is going to get most of that out of there, so I'm going to bother with it this way. Loosen this up some because it's pretty tight. There we go. See the needle moving? That's what I was looking for. I got her cleaned, knocked free, cleaned out. A little bit more in this. Haven't used this airbrush in a while. She's really good for big general area work. Real good for that. There we go. She's cleaned out. Gonna run some airbrush cleaner through her, and then I'm done with that part. Uh-oh. That airbrush cleaner. Time to get more. I use this stuff. It's not the only airbrush cleaner I have in here. It's a little pricey. It's like $6-7, but it cleans it. What it does is it cleans the lacquer fluid out. So my lacquer fluid isn't jamming up eating up everything in the airbrush. Because that lacquer fluid is some pretty bad stuff. Yeah, we got some foaming on the tip. This stuff has soap in it too. And that's how it gets rid of the lacquer thinner. Adjust that a little bit and that a little bit. Oh yeah, much better now. I don't have, oh, yep, not adjusted properly. That's another thing about this thing. You got to adjust it properly so when you push down the air, it's not putting fluid through. And I haven't noticed having to do that with the Badgers. Still putting fluid through. Still putting fluid through. I'll get it adjusted. I'll be back later. Just want to let you guys see me clean out the airbrush and how that worked. So, hope some of you found that enjoyable. That seems to have gotten it. Yeah, that seems to have gotten it. There we go. I'm going to screw the back cover back on her. She's unbalanced without this cover on it. And I got the Paschee back ready for service. And boy, does it feel a lot different than those Badger brushes. A lot different. Alright. I'm going to go put her away, get everything ready for painting something else. She goes back in her box until when I do the terrain work. Hope you enjoyed it.